Welcome to part 13 on how the Cadian army is organised, and in this episode we'll be exploring the narrative, insignia and organisation amongst the squads with regards to the Ogryns, Bulgryns and Ratlings. For ease of navigation, remember this video is split into chapters, so if you want to look at a particular unit, it is really easy to do so by simply checking out the video description below. And furthermore, I'd really appreciate if you hit the like button, subscribe, follow the channel, and if you want to support me, you can head over to patreon.com/JBWargamer87. More information on how to get involved will be in the end credits of this video. Thank you for listening, and what are we waiting for? Let's get stuck in with the organisation with the Abhuman auxiliary troops. The Ogryn. The Ogryn are a huge and physically powerful abhuman mutant species of humanity, often employed by Imperium of Man as shock troopers in the Astra Militarum Auxilia. Ogryns possess many traits prized by the Imperium. They are brutally strong and completely loyal, although extremely limited intellectually, which restricts their battlefield role to simple and direct assaults. They hail from a series of cold, barren planets across the galaxy that possess high gravity, such as Anarch Zeta, which is why they appear larger, heavier, and bulkier compared to the baseline humans. Ogryns compensate for their mental deficiencies with overwhelming physicality. The brutish creatures stand around 10 Terran feet tall and can shrug off wounds that would kill an Imperial Guardsman several times over. These qualities mean that the Ogryns make exceptional shock troops and are often deployed in the front lines of battle by Imperial commanders. It is fair to say that Ogryns do have their limitations. Their experiment must be simple and exceptionally rugged, as anything within arm's reach is likely to see brief and violent service as an improvised club. Their heavily built Ripper guns must also be fitted with burst limiters to stop the Ogryns from firing ceaselessly. 30 solar seconds of noisy enjoyment can easily leave these abhumans short of ammunition before a battle has even begun. Ogryns are easily confused, meaning they work best when given simple, straightforward missions, and their lack of personal hygiene borders on the criminal. However, once indoctrinated into the Imperial creed, they are doggedly loyal, and their strength and resilience makes them a potent weapon. The Ogryns are the toughest and largest soldiers commonly used by the regiments of the Astra Militarum. Originating from cold, barren, high-gravity prison planets settled by millennia before the founding of the Imperium of Man, the Ogryns' distant ancestors were once normal humans during the age of technology. Thousands of standard years in harsh terrains and brutal living conditions and their prison worlds after the start of the Age of Strife caused to fall the first insular civilization of mankind, forced their ancestors' bodies to adapt to their hostile environment. The Bone'ead. Among the dim-witted Ogryn species, there exist certain rare individuals who, despite their primitive mindset, exhibit a rare glimmer of intelligence, problem-solving capabilities, memory, or natural drive. Such individuals quickly stand out amongst their brethren, making them ideal candidates for biomechanical Ogryn neutral enhancement. Recipients of such procedures generally refer themselves as Bone'eads and possess enhanced cognitive capabilities well beyond those of an unaltered specimen. Many are able to remember their own names, count some of their fingers, or even make tactical decisions beyond hitting things. Capabilities that quickly make them eligible for positions of limited authority. Bone'eads are often the brains of their units, and other Ogryns look to them for leadership both off and on the battlefield. To other Ogryns, the fact that the Bone'ead even holds his rank is often a reason enough to obey, and most are content to trust that anyone who remembers such as a Bone'ead probably knows best anyway. As such, Bone'ead's units often has few disciplinary problems and a clearly established hierarchy, assuming everyone remembers what they are supposed to be doing at any given time. Bone'eads are brutal but effective leaders, bellowing orders over the din of combat, and punctuating their shouts with vicious blows from their oversized weapons. Where the average Ogryn is clumsy and ungainly, Bone'eads are much more coordinated than their primitive brethren, and able to wield weapons with surprising dexterity, though their inherent clumsiness can never be completely eradicated. Despite their abilities, they are not particularly well equipped compared to other Astra Militarum units, often fighting with the same weaponry as their unaugmented brethren. The main difference between a Bone'ead and his squad mates is the cerebral implants and modifications to their thick skulls. Despite their crude and sturdy appearance, these implants are actually quite sophisticated and capable of withstanding a fairly substantial amount of punishment, particularly useful when such a device is borne by an Ogryn. In combat, the procedures enacted upon a Bone'ead's brain are put to the ultimate test as they confront numerous decisions and obstacles of command head-on. However, their demonstration and inhuman stubbornness often see them through such situations, while their unique physiology more than compensates for lapses of discretion of judgment. As a result, an experienced Bone'ead is often capable of leading his fellow abhumans more or less where he told, and a little practice. Despite their intelligence, Bone'eads naturally exhibit many qualities that define a good leader. They tend to be driven individuals, stubborn to a fault and unwilling to back down or admit defeat, in even the most hopeless situations. Such dedication is often born of absolute faith for their superiors, whom Bone'eads trust implicitly and without reservation. They are also not afraid to lead from the front, providing an example to their fellow Ogryn and encouraging them with simple, intuitive commands, accompanied by bursts of fire from their ragged weapons. It is debatable whether this is learned behaviour or simple necessity. However, as the stupidity of many Ogryns recruits, many render all but the simplest orders incomprehensible. However, despite their training and modifications, no amount of cerebral thickering can completely eliminate the Bone'ead's base of instincts, and even the most intelligent individuals suffer from bouts of savagery. Some Bone'eads are even equipped with cerebral implants to magnify or enhance those tendencies, turning them into engines of destruction once certain criteria are met or trigger phrases uttered via their vox links, regardless of Bone'ead's rages, are truly terrifying to behold. Oath-bound Bodyguard. Ogryns make excellent bodyguards, for they are loyal, determined, and extremely hard to kill. In this role they have but one duty: to protect the Astra Militarum officer to whom they are assigned, whether they achieve this by throwing themselves in the line of fire, or by slaughtering all the enemies who come near to their charge. They are invaluable retainers in a swell of combat. Among the officer cadres of the Astra Militarum regimental commanders, it is considered a great honour to have an oath-bound Ogryn Bodyguard. Normally, Ogryns are such a valuable asset that they are formed into squads and used as shock troopers, or blocking detachments, but sometimes a higher-ranking officer merges requisition, one for his own personal retinue. In the same way that officers sometimes have advisors from other arms of an imperial crusade or other imperial force, an Ogryn can end up showing a captain, colonel, or general as they take a journey to the front to inspect the war. Imperial officers also take great pleasure in the intimidation factor that an Ogryn brings to any tactical briefing or even social engagement. The towering abhumans make everyone in the room painfully aware of their own insignificance. Rarer still are those instances where an Ogryn will form a bond of fellowship with a low-ranking officer or even a regular guardsman. The simple minds of these hulking abhumans can, for reasons unknown, become fixated upon the particular human, especially if that human shows them kindness, or just happens to be in the right place at the right time. Once an Ogryn contacts with an Imperial soldier in this way, the bond becomes almost unbreakable. Reports of various war zones confirm that this has happened on several occasions, with charismatic and courageous junior officers acquiring for themselves the undying loyalty of one of an abhuman shock troopers. Bulgryns. Bulgryns are cladded in custom-made carapace armour made out of discarded tank tracks, and carry crude assault weaponry intended to capitalise on the abhuman stature and resilience. While some wield power mauls and buckler-like brute shields, the simple but effective slab shields are their trademark, locking together to form a mobile defence line. So deployed, these Bulgryn units provide their comrades with a wall of walking cover as they advance across the battlefield, soaking up vast volumes of enemy fire in the process. The Ogryns take their projective duties very seriously and will often form a line at the slightest sound of gunfire, which can be the most inconvenient in crowded trenches. Yet Imperial Guardsmen advancing behind a Bulgryn squad swiftly forget such mishaps, as shots whine harmlessly from the Ogryn shields, leaving these soldiers crouched in their lee unharmed. Nevertheless to say, casualties are high amongst the abhumans themselves, but the close-range bombardments of Ogryn's grenadier gauntlets exact brutal revenge soon enough. The foes are left reeling and shell-shocked even before the maul-wielding Ogryns charge into their midst and bludgeon the survivors to a red paste. An Ogryn and Bulgryn squad consists of 9 members, of which are split into 3 teams. Number 1 is the squad leader, otherwise known as a bonehead. Number 4 is second in command, and he is a team leader. Number 7 is third in command of the squad. Number 2, 3, 5, 6, 8, and 9 are regular members of the squad. Starting with the lowest rank, number 7 is a specialist guardsman, and number 4 is a lance corporal, and then in command of the squad is a corporal, and the rest of the Ogryns count as guardsmen 3rd class when it comes to the unit's insignia. The next highest rank is that of a sergeant, and the highest rank obtainable for a squad leader is that of staff sergeant. And finally, the highest rank obtainable for an Ogryn or Bulgryn in the 18th Cadian Army Group is that of sergeant 1st class. Ratling. A Ratling is a member of a small, loud, hungry, lascivious abhuman species. Ratlings are granted full Imperial citizenship despite their mutant status. In the past, have often served in the regiments of the Astra Militarum as members of the Ministorum Auxilia. However, they are still distrusted by the puritanical members of the Inquisition. Though less resilient than their baseline human comrades, Ratlings are naturally excellent shots. It is said that a Ratling marksman can take the head off a heretic from over a kilometre away. Coupled with their knack of staying out of harm's way, this makes Ratlings formidable snipers, who can exact a weathering toll upon superior enemy foes. Inevitably, the abhuman Ratlings face prejudice from the baseline human troops they serve alongside, yet their skills as thieves, fences, and black marketeers tend to win them acceptance. Indeed, guardsmen who give Ratlings too much grief will often find themselves mysteriously short of ammunition in the heat of battle, while their diminutive tormentors watch gleefully through telescopic sights. Regardless of their small stature and their questionable status as sanctioned ambrients, Ratlings have proven invaluable to the Imperium's armies time and again. They make exceptional forward scouts and are able to move covertly into the firing positions right under the nose of the enemy army. Only when the opening salvos of battle have been loosed do they reveal themselves, announcing the presence with hails of precision shots which catch the enemy completely off guard. The effectiveness of the Ratling's fire can often mislead the enemy into believing they face an entire platoon of Imperial Guardsmen, in which turn they can draw large-scale assaults towards the snipers. With no hope of holding their own in close quarters combat, Ratlings have perfected the art of hastily vacating their redoubts immediately after firing, scurrying away before the scouring a new vantage point, from which they assassinate more of their assailants. Though devious and duplicitous and morally dubious, Ratlings possess such unique talents that they will always find a place in the armies of the Imperium. Whether killing off enemy officers or procuring black market asthmatic in their own, the acceptable abhumans have certainly found a niche in the ranks of the Astra Militare. The Imperial world known as On's World, also known as Oin's World, is a primary Ratling homeworld located in the Segmentum Obscurus. Ratlings are the smallest type of abhuman known to the Imperium, their ancestors having become stunted by thousands of standard years of inbreeding on worlds with climates and environments even more conducive to human life than ancient Terra, and possessed of abundant harvests. Ratlings are short and squat, although not strong when compared to normal baseline humans. They are idle, hedonistic, gregarious, over-friendly, and sexually promiscuous. Their lives are spent eating until sick, drinking copious amounts of intoxicating beverages, and procreating uncontrollably, almost like abhuman rabbits. These small, loud, hungry, lecherous creatures are called runtlings, stunties, halflings, and ratlings by other humans, among other less printable things. A Ratling squad consists of 10 members. Number 1 is the squad leader. Number 6 is the team leader, and the rest number 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, and 10 are enlisted Ratlings members of the squad. The enlisted insignia for that of the regular Ratlings is that of Guardsman 3rd class. This represents the fact that they are untrustworthy within the Astra Militarum. The next highest rank, number 6, is that of the team leader, and he is a lance corporal. And the squad leader is that of a corporal, who's in command of the squad. The next highest rank obtainable is that of a sergeant. And finally, the highest rank obtainable in the 18th Cadian army group for a Ratling, and he has to be trustworthy, is that of a staff sergeant. The following is an overview of all the enlisted ranks and non-commissioned officer ranks in this particular video. Guardsman 3rd class, Specialist Guardsman, Seasoned Guardsman, Senior Guardsman, Sergeant, Staff Sergeant, and finally, Sergeant First Class. Thank you for watching this episode, or part 13 of the narrative series. In the next episode, we'll be exploring the detail about the more auxiliary units, but this time criminals at heart. The scum and villainy of the 41st millennium, criminals, and those that deserve to die in the service of the Emperor, the Penal Legion. How to support the channel will be described in more detail, like I said before, in the end credits of this video. But just a quick reminder, please like and subscribe and hit the bell button so you won't miss another video. Do check out the end credits for more info as to how you can get involved on the channel. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, happy wargaming. Cadia stands, and for the Emperor. Thank you for watching this video. Remember, if you've enjoyed this video and you want to support this channel freely, please hit the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the bell button so you won't miss another video, share this video far and wide, and if it's one of your favourite videos, please add it to the favourites section, and follow the YouTube channel for more updates. You can also check me out on my other social media networks. You can check out the official page on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. If you want to contribute and support the channel further and want your name mentioned in our battle reports, or just support me in general, there are plenty of ways to do so. Head over to the Etsy store for channel merchandise. If you want to book up a game and participate on the channel, do contact me through my email address or through my social media pages. And if you want your name shouted out on the channel, and you want to support me further in making more content, do check me out on Patreon. By becoming a Patreon, you'll help support the channel tremendously, and you'll get to unlock extra features that are only exclusive to Patreon members. These are all the current members that are supporting me right now, and I'd like to thank them all very much for supporting the channel, for Cadians as well as the Ultramarines faction. Rise up to the ranks and win glory for the Emperor. Those who are Tier 4 supporters or higher will have access to the Discord page. And I would like to also thank the channel sponsors, GoblinGaming, C Studios, Gammat.eu, and the Magnet Baron. GoblinGaming have very kindly allowed me to have an affiliation link on the channel. Using the affiliation link when purchasing your items for all your hobby needs helps support the channel. I'm also featured on the Striking Scorpion 82 channel, and I also do a monthly battle report with YouTube membership on his channel as well. Thank you for watching, and happy wargaming!